Hey everyone, Dan Julian here, nurse practitioner for Dan Aesthetics Medical, and our clinic is located here in Ottawa, Canada. Today I'm going to show you how to treat, fix, mask, however you want to say it, stubborn jowling that happens right here. And I'm going to show you to do that with dermal fillers. Often enough it takes 7 or 8 syringes to treat a full jawline, but I'm going to show you how to do this often enough using only 4 syringes. Let's get into it. Basically, a few things happen with the face. First of all, our skull is always shifting and morphing as we mature. One primary reason for this jowling is that this gonial angle right here, this bone, tends to slim out and shifts forward, and the superficial fat pads move with it. Not only that, the superficial fat pads in this region swell and drop over time because of gravity. So you have this accumulation of fat that's there. Now in front of that, there's a mandibular ligament that acts like a doorstop, prevents anything from moving further. You have one fat pad generally that's here, and this pregel sulcus that ends up hollowing out, causing a further dip, further accentuating this fat pad. Lastly, behind the fat pad, and we're going to bring in our assistant Sarah here to help us out. Say, hey Sarah, look at this. This little green area is highlighting her jowl. And you see the facial artery that's here? The facial artery typically runs where the notch is right at the back of the jowl. It seems like 99% of the time when I'm treating the jowl, the posterior portion of the jowl is right where that facial artery is, which further accentuates the dip. So you're gonna have another dip back here, bunch here, dip here. And those are the key areas for me to understand where to treat and how much product I need. So now the fun and creative aspect of being a medical aesthetics provider. I'm going to mask a jowl using dermal fillers by placing just the right amounts in the right locations. So what I'm going to do is literally draw on my client's face exactly where the hollowings are, and then after that, fill them in with just the right amount of filler. So bring in Sarah, and this is exactly what I do here. This is the jowl, and in front I notice that she has enough volume here, she has enough volume here, but she's lost volume here and here, further accentuating the jowl. So let's fill that in. So I'll go in with a cannula and I'll fill in these areas. Notice whenever I tilt the head forward, you can't really see most of the filler here on the mandible, and that's because I have to place most of it underneath to catch the jowl. And that's the trick. The trick is placing it just underneath and with the right filler. You're gonna wanna use something that's moldable and soft, and you don't actually wanna go too deep here, because if you're on the bone, then you're not going to get the projection you want and you're just wasting volume. So I use a mid G prime filler here. It's typically perfect for this area. Then whenever that's done, I'm gonna go to the back, and there's usually a little dip here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drop the jawline, placing filler here, and then I'm going to bring it back up on the jawline to create that natural lift. And it's a beautiful transition without over volumizing the face. A lot of the times I used to actually place more volume back here to drop the jawline completely, but I don't want to do that anymore because I'm noticing that it can sometimes even masculinize a face, or it just doesn't look quite as natural. Remember, whenever women start to mature, this softens. So let's just keep that and let's just mask the jowl. And this is a great way to do that. High G prime volumizing filler here just to soften it. There is a facial artery I have to be careful for, so I'm going to come in perpendicular with a cannula, and I'm going to be superficial. I'm going to be in this superficial fat pad, as I understand that this artery runs very deep, so that keeps me safe. Also, notice there's a submandibular artery that runs right directly in the line of fire here as well, which tells me I also have to use a cannula in that location. I have to be very specific and safe when I'm doing these techniques. All right, a couple key takeaways before we go. Remember, we're only restructuring the jawline. We're not redoing the entire lower face. So you have to remember, if someone wants to restore some lost volume that's happened here because everything is shifted forward, then that may take some additional filler. Also, whenever you're filling in the pregel sulcus right here, yes, this is gonna look great from the side, but you do not want to inadvertently widen their jawline when you make the connection. So make sure you're doing some ratios and measurements, and if you have enough filler afterwards, try and add just a little bit to the chin just to narrow it, just to make sure that it looks feminine. Hey YouTube, you are in luck. For the next year, I'm revamping all of my previous dermal filler videos to provide you with the most up-to-date techniques possible. That's right, everything that I've learned at all these international conferences in conjunction with all the IG lives that I've done with the top providers in the industry, has really opened up my eyes and helped me become a better injector. And I'm gonna share all these techniques with you. So join Sarah and I weekly as we guide you. And if you're a medical aesthetics provider hoping to take your game to the next level, then join my Patreon. I promise you, you'll love it. For everyone else, until the next time, take care of each other, exercise daily, and please be nice to absolutely everyone. See you next week, guys.